Hello and welcome to this video. If you're new here, my name is Marta and today I will be showing you my Devinah Cosmetics collection. I don't have too many shades, but I have some and I really think all of them are so unique and so beautiful, and I do want to purchase more. It's just I have to wait and see which shades I actually want, because I don't want to buy shades that I know I won't use. So I guess I will just go straight into the video, and what I'm going to do is just to put my single shadows in a bigger palette, because now I have a new order that is in a big palette alone and I just want to put all of my Devinah shadows together. So let's just jump straight into it. I was stupid enough to forget to turn on my microphone, so I will just do a very quick voiceover for this part of the video. The only thing I said was actually that in the small palette I had all of my previous shades from Devinah, whilst in the bigger palette I had put the newest order that I put in from Devinah. I only said that I usually put the shades that look close to each other or are close in the color family next to each other, or that I often also put shades next to each other that I think look very good together. So yeah, I will just speed a little bit through because this portion of the video is taking a bit time, and yeah, I will just turn on some music for you. This is how my palette turned out. I really like how all of these shades look together. I think they make up a beautiful palette, and it's actually perfect for fall. Most of these shades I bought during the summer, and of course I bought the ones that were in the big palette alone to begin with. Very recently, I just got them like less than 2 weeks ago or something. So I have only played with them once and I really enjoyed them. So I'm super excited to have all of them in the same palette, because as you can see they look so beautiful together and all of the shades go so well together. And yeah, I think I just want to swatch them all for you. And my arm is a little bit stained from the Give Me Glow Cosmetics shadows that I swatched earlier today, so I apologize for that, but I don't think that will have so much to say for the swatches that I'm going to do now anyway. So I will just start off swatching. I think I will just go... I think I want to go just like this downwards, because that makes most sense color-wise. Okay, just look at how beautiful those shades are. They're from the Galaxy Dust collection. Oh, I totally need to get more of these. They're just so beautiful. And now for the last row, we have some warmer shades. Actually, I haven't even used the purple and the orange shade. Okay, I'm literally swatching on my elbow right now, but it just worked. I just had enough space for all of the shadows. So I will just show you how they all look up close. I think they all make such a beautiful color story. The reason why I have so many yellow shades is just because I didn't have that many, and a lot of them have a lot of green in them. They're super grungy and beautiful. So that's why I picked up so many of the similar shades. So from the top to the bottom, this is the shade Tosca, which is a very light yellow shade. It doesn't show up too much when you use it on the eyelid, but it is a pretty and pale yellow. So I use this for transition sometimes. This shade is the shade Anastasia, and it's more of a warmer yellow shade. It's a little bit more pigmented, but it's also not super pigmented, but it works perfectly if you want to warm up a look. And I think it would especially look good with the shade here, which is called Lucretia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but I will try my best. And then here we have this grungy yellowy green shade, which is called Courtney. It's like one of the most popular shades of the Devinah Cosmetics, and I totally understand why. It builds up very nicely in the crease, and as you can see, it can go more yellow if you use it with yellow shades, and it can go more green if you use it with the greener shades. And the same goes for the next shade here, which is the shade Juncea. I have no idea how to pronounce it. I'm so sorry for all of the shade names here. And it's a little bit less pigmented, or at least it's lighter than Courtney, and it's a little bit more green, a little bit more cool toned. It's also super nice, and I bought this for a transition shade. The next shade is the shade Capri, which is way more of a yellow shade than the others here, and it's quite pigmented. The yellow shades are a little bit less pigmented maybe, just because they're so light, but I'm sure you can build them up. I have only used them as transition shades this far, which is what I wanted to use them for, but yeah, I'm sure you can build them up. The next shade is the shade Saudade, or Saudade, or whatever, and it's a very deep, almost army green. It's a little bit more brown toned than the shade Patina, which is here, and they look really similar in the pan. I will show you. So this is the shade Saudade, and this is Patina, and I thought they were almost identical on the page, but then I swatched them and I saw that they were actually quite different. So I'm quite happy that I did pick up both of them. In the middle of them I have the shade Martini, which is actually a really nice shimmer. You can't see it that much here, but it has a very nice sheen to it, and it's almost like a lime green. It's very beautiful. And I already talked about the shade Patina, which is more of a green. It has a little bit less brown than the shade Saudade here, and it's a tiny bit lighter, but both of them work so nice as deepening shades for the crease. The next shade, it is the shade Jaded, and the shade Jaded is very similar to the shade Khadra, which is here, but as you can see, the shade Jaded has a lot more blue in it, or a lot and a lot. It is a little bit more blue toned, whereas the shade Khadra is a little bit more green toned. And I thought they also looked so identical in the pan. As you can see, they are very similar, but you do see that the shade Jaded here has a little bit more blue, and this one has a little bit more green to it. And in the middle of them we have here, it's the shade Search, which is a very almost neon-like pale green shade, and this one is quite pigmented. I have used it as a transition shade, and it's really beautiful, and it makes the look a lot more vibrant. The shade in the middle here is almost like Jaded and Khadra. It's just a bit lighter, and it's like a really good mix between blue and green, a little bit more green though. And then of course it's the shade Khadra that I already talked about. Then we have the shade Celesta from the Galaxy Dust collection. These shades are just so amazing. This one is like a green or a greenish gold, and then it has like a deep dark red, almost brownish shade as a base. And you see that the shade Asteria next to it has a way more cool toned green as shimmer, and then the base is a little bit more brown, but they are almost just as deep. And then we have the shade Naval. It's a very nice royal blue shade. It looks a little bit purple here, but when I use it for my lid it just looks super blue. Then we have the shade Lucretia, which is just an orangey, a little bit deeper shade, and I actually haven't used that one, so I can't say that much about how it performed, but it does look super gorgeous in the pan, and it did swatch okay, but I think this is one of the shades that you just build up, and I do appreciate those shades so you can sort of decide how much pigment you want. The shade Empress, which is the pink shade with a little bit of gold sheen, is also super beautiful. I usually use it with setting spray or glitter glue just to make it way more shimmery and pigmented. And then here we have the shade Virago, which is a very beautiful deep purple, and yeah, it's like a warm purple shade. It reminds me of raspberry or something like that, and it's really beautiful. So that's all of the shades together. I think this would make such a beautiful palette. If I were to make a palette, I would have probably had some more shimmers, but I do have a whole row that I can fill in the bottom of my palette. So the next purchases I will make, I'm probably going to buy something from the Galaxy Dust collection or the Exploders collection, and she is coming out with something that's called, I think it was Sugar Drop or something. So she's going to make more of these iridescent lighter shades. That is the Exploder shades that are the opposites of these ones, and they're just so sparkly and beautiful, so I might pick up some of them to complement the rest of my palettes here. And these kinds of shimmers are definitely my top 3 shimmer shades, just because they have like tiny glitter particles and they're so beautiful. And obviously I do love some gorgeous duochrome shades. This is just so beautiful, I can't stop looking at it. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to make more of these single shadow palettes, putting together a color story. This is basically just putting all of my Devinah shadows in the same palette, but I could definitely make some beautiful color stories using 9 of the shades, or yeah, just 12 shades, and just mix them up with other brands as well. It's something I find really funny to do. I just enjoy doing it. It's so relaxing and pleasing to see beautiful shades put together in gorgeous color stories. I guess that is all I have to say about my Devinah Cosmetics single shadows for now. Which shades were your favorites, or do you have some of them maybe on your wish list? Please comment down below. And if you want to see more of my content, then please subscribe to my channel. I try to post every Thursday and Sunday. I guess I will see you in my next video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!